Roy rang me up, and I didn't believe it was Roy. Withheld number come through on my phone, and I was like, it's not. Do you know? Because I thought someone was taking the mick out of me. And I remember having the chat with him, and he's like, listen, I know you're a Newcastle boy. You're too good for the Championship. I want to give you the opportunity to play in the Premier League. I signed for Sunderland. Sunderland fans didn't like it. Didn't take to me at all. Because obviously I scored for Cardiff that year for Cardiff against Sunderland, scored 2. And not only that, the year before that, I'd scored for Newcastle at Sunderland. And I scored the equaliser. We went on to win 4-1.
Did you get any stick from the Newcastle fans?
Yeah, they hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it. Newcastle were actually playing Bolton away that first game of the season. And my mates were telling me, because my mates are massive Geordies that follow Newcastle all like home and away. And they said to me, like, when I scored that goal for Sunderland, a lot of drinks of beer were getting chucked at the screen and all that, and all that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I had to do what was best for my career. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, I had the opportunity to possibly go to Everton or Villa at the time as well. They had shown a little bit of interest, but I wanted to move back home, be closer to my family and that sort of thing. And another thing, I wanted to work under Roy Keane. I wanted to know why he was the player he was, why he was captain for Man United for so long, and the aura he had about him and that sort of thing. So,
what was he like as a manager?
Look, I got on really well with him.
Any good Roy Keane stories?
I had my own problems. Roy's got his own problems. We used to have a chat all the time about how I'm feeling and that sort of thing. It was really good for me. So sometimes Roy, training would always get recorded, always. He was a manager that you train how you play. If you don't train properly, you're not in his starting lineup, no matter who you are. He could have signed you for 15, 20 million. If you don't perform in training, you're not playing, which is how football should be. Do you know what I mean? There's no favouritism. So sometimes he used to park his car in a different part of the car park. So we used to always think, manager's not in here, we can have a little laugh and a joke. And he'd be hiding like behind a tree sort of thing, looking at who's messing about. And do you know what I mean? And then we'd be like, Gaffer's coming. What? Gaffer's car's not in there. What's going on? So we used to hide it somewhere else, do you know what I mean? Park it somewhere else. But that was him, do you know what I mean? Because you know yourself in training that if the Gaffer's not there, you ease off a bit. Yeah. You're not fully focused and that sort of thing. We were playing Wigan away. I think we were getting 4-0 at half time of Wigan in the Premier League. He's come in and he's gone absolutely mental, like shouting, screaming, everything. And there was a he was standing in front of like the treatment table in front of him, and it had like a little bit of jellies, Jaffa cakes, all the physio stuff, all the strappings, and he's like got his hands on the table like this. And he's going absolute mental, shouting and all that, like we're a disgrace and all that to the club for the badge, the fans. And he's gone to lift the table to like chuck all this stuff off it. Do you know what I mean? But the table's nailed to the floor, the treatment table. So he's gone to lift it like that, and he struggled because obviously it's nailed to the floor. And, mate, you don't want to laugh. Do you know what I mean? Because you laugh.
Around him up a tree.
Did that make him even angrier?
You're thinking, you're laughing everything. Do you know when he's foaming and stuff like that? So you don't want to laugh or nothing because you think if you laugh, he's going to come after you.
Yeah,
and that sort of thing. So you're trying to keep a straight face when he's having a go and stuff like that. And then some games, the kit man was Cookie. He'd ask Cookie to like set the tactics board up, so he's putting the players in positions, formation, and all that. So Roy's gone to walk in the showers. The tactics board would be like in the far room. So then he's just come pacing in, and he's starting to pick up a little bit of speed, and then he just karate kicks the tactics board, and he's just going absolute mental. Do you know what I mean? Just he's frustrating and stuff like that because I think his standards for Sunderland were too high.
Right.
I think he'd just come from United and stuff like that as a player, and he set the bar really high, and we couldn't get up to that bar sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Because we're not with the Yorkies, the Beckhams, the Giggsies, the Scholesies. Do you know what I mean? And what he'd been used to, And I think the bar was really high at Sunderland. He set it really high, but it was good for players because we had to try and reach that level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it was too high for some players. But at the end of the day, look, we stayed in the Premier League the first season he was there. I scored a lot of important goals for the football club that year. I think I scored 6 goals. Five of them goals pretty much kept them in the Premier League because we won 3 points with the goals I scored. Roy had a knack of looking at certain players and thinking he's up for it. He's going to win me the game.